Hello everyone, welcome to this week's MMO Concept Art course. I'm your instructor Steve Curtis. With me tonight are Richard, Sergio, and Wolf. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Doing
well,
good.
thank you.
Richard's doing particularly well because he has a gun. So, since he's in charge with a gun, we're going to make him presenter right away and have a look at that. And it will be very cool. Oh, you really do have a gun. All right.
Okay, what do you guys see? Okay, cool.
I see a gun.
All right. So yeah, this is the high poly mesh. There's some areas of it that I'm still working on, but I was able to cut in all the various details into the surface. So the normal maps and stuff like that, when they come out, I'm hoping they will look as good as they do here.
Did you fix your size issue?
Sorry, which? Oh, yes, I did.
Yay!
What's the difference between the red light and the blue light?
Essentially, it's going to be two types of emitters. So if you're shooting to kill, you've got a bigger blast that's going to come out of the red emitter. And if it's meant to be a little sort of a law enforcement weapon. And I figured in the future, they'll probably combine lethal force and non-lethal into one package.
Set your
So
face to
essentially-
stun.
Essentially, yeah. Essentially, it's a taser without the cables. So,
Cool.
but the trade-off is you would still have to be at a closer range in order to shoot a disabling shot.
Yeah, cool.
And the other thing about this is that this can actually be, those are just two additional pieces of geometry that are stuck over top. Normally, it just looks like that. So, because the other thing I kind of have an issue with is if you want to be sneaky, you don't want things that glow.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha,
So-
yeah. That's pretty cool.
And I've got the magazine in place as well. I have to do the detail work on that, but for the time being, it's got a nice little home here that lines right up.
Nice. That's
And
very sweet.
I'm kind of picturing these as sort of being more or less an exhaust vent for the heat. Given that it's an energy weapon, it's going to throw some of that out. So
That's what it
figured it
looked
would-
like to me.
Yeah, that
yeah.
was. I just assumed they were venting.
cool.
So good design.
Good that I did my job.
Yes.
So I also have to do the mount that goes underneath here, but that's more or less an accessory. The idea is you could have a weapon that's just this setup
Yeah.
if you didn't want to worry about an accessory. And essentially, this is from a storyline perspective, this is the weapon that Danielle inherits from her mother.
Ah, okay.
So I think she'll look pretty BA with it.
Especially if it's a huge handgun and she's still little. That takes me back to a question from last week. Deb, my girlfriend, happened to walk by when you were showing your model. Is that Danielle as a child?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was pretty sure it was. She's like, her head's too big. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure she's a kid still. So he's like, okay, well, if she's a kid, it's fine. Well,
Yeah.
now you've made me paranoid, and I have to ask.
Yes, that's meant to be Danielle when she's younger, and I have the references in place so that I can modify that mesh to create the adult version of her when she's grown up. So once that mesh is finished, then modifying it from that point on should be pretty straightforward. And I haven't had a chance to test this yet, but I was taking a look around some tutorials for that Substance Designer program, and if you recall, I was trying to figure out how to use the high poly and low polygon models within that program.
Mm-hmm.
Have it create the normal maps and all that kind of stuff. And the issues that I was running into with texture seams and all that sort of thing were kind of, well, they were being a brat. So I found out you can actually use normal maps generated through other programs. So if you have one through ZBrush or 3D Studio Max that does work, you can just use that in combination with the low poly mesh, and it's still able to do everything else. So it can figure out ambient occlusion, world space normals if you want to have dust and stuff gather on the object. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting. I can't wait to see that.
And as far as the game geometry, the overall poly count at the moment, poly count is 454.
Well, that's not too shabby.
So I think that'll probably do.
Yeah, we should be all right with that. Especially for
I was,
a piece that you're actually going to have in front of you a lot.
yeah, and I was having a debate with Sergio about this earlier, but I was thinking some of these major surface details, I'll still cut them into the low poly model, but they'll receive their smoothing information from the normal map. So if you did happen to have a camera view that showed this up close, you would still see the actual cuts in the geometry here, but the vents and stuff like that would be 100% projection just on this smaller surface.
And did Sergio take the side of you don't need that?
Not really. I mean, I didn't give a definitive answer, but there are some places that
Sergio?
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Oh, there you.
Okay,
You,
there we
you
go.
were gone.
Oh,
Say
There
that
were
again?
some places that.
that the illusion breaks if you don't cut in. So yeah.
Like, for example, if you were to look at it edge on and you were close enough, you would see that this is definitely a projection. But I
Yeah.
don't think we'd really get that kind of an angle when you're looking at this portion here for the vents.
Yeah.
So we could get away with that. But
Yeah.
portions along the side of the receiver, or I don't know what the heck you'd call it, it doesn't move like the receiver on a handgun. So the top part of the weapon, anyways.
There you go.
The part that most that I will carve in definitely it's at the mouth of the weapon. You have one that if you show the high poly model, you will see it's carved in.
Like this
Yeah.
portion here.
And that will especially when it's detail that gets to the edges, I think that will break with the normal map, and you should carve in anyway at the
Okay.
size of the mouth.
Like this portion here, you mean?
No, right to the side there.
Okay.
Because if you're watching the gun from behind, I mean, I think the normal map will try to do its best, but it breaks the shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And for the change of direction that you have here, it's not very expensive as far as polygons go.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really going to use too many polys if we cut in some of that. I don't know if I would bother with the ones that don't actually affect the silhouette. But like that one where it actually does cut the edge, that one I would definitely cut in.
Okay. Well, I can do it before and after. We'll see how it looks with each different version. We could set it up so that, you know, the really low detail mesh doesn't even have this, but you'd be far enough away at that point that you don't notice.
Yeah, and that's mostly what I'm thinking is really the really good detail we only need for like when you're shopping
Close up.
and and picking weapons, and if you think about when we were doing our tests and running around with the little wizards and imagining this gun in one of their hands, you're not going to get any detail out of that.
Yeah.
That
That's
a
true.
normal map can't cover. But yeah, if they're spinning around wondering, choosing a purchase, that I would want a higher detail mesh for. Because that they will be able to zoom up and look at it. Well, now you're just playing.
Tweaking. There we go. Yeah, it's now that I've got the hang of the whole, turbo smooth and adding in edge loops to shore up the curves and stuff like that. It's fun.
I love playing with that stuff right up until I really screw something up.
This back end, I'm probably going to have to redo it again, but I've redone this surface detail about 6 or 7 times in the process of trying to figure out how to set it up so that it would keep this
keep the line
edge all the way along. And when we get back to around here, especially with this section, it always messes it up. And I'm still trying to figure out how the heck to get that to play nice. So,
I can
like you
kinda
can see some
that.
pinching here, and so there's definitely some areas that still need some work. But I'd say overall, it's probably sitting at somewhere around 90%.
Yeah,
So-
it's looking pretty good.
And I actually owe Sergio a thank you for kicking my butt and getting me started on this one again, because I'd completely forgotten about getting this finished.
Yay, Sergio.
Really, I really think of this as more Sergio's gun at this point.
I don't know what to tell you, Wolf.
Okay,
I really
there
think
we
of
go.
this more as Sergio's class at this point.
Why?
Okay, I've just got a name. I just figured out the name for this weapon, Sergio Special.
Sergio's, I like it. And
Dear Lord.
we'll just call it SS, and then we'll wait for all of the Nazi references to come in yelling at us. Like, no, it's for a guy named Sergio. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that actually, I was, a few years back, I was working for a Schuler, and he did necklaces with the symbol of Kiss.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Only the S's, and he had to stop selling that because
Because they look like the SS brackets.
yeah.
That's pretty funny. I'm
For me,
sorry.
it
He had
was.
I'm sorry he had to stop selling it, sort of way, but it was pretty funny. Oh, look at that.
Oh dear Lord.
I'll have to figure out the font and actually get it.
I was gonna say, I
imprinted
think
into the
we
middle.
need a fancier font for that, but
Actually, what I think I'm probably going to do for stuff like this, the really low detail stuff, baking a normal map that would support something like this would be prohibitively large. But I'm thinking we could easily set up just a simple single poly, just a square, and it would act like a decal. And we do a projection map of a decal for a label, apply it to that polygon,
Richard,
and you would have the illusion. Yes?
you're in Canada, right?
Yes.
Do they really say decal there?
Yeah?
Okay,
As far as I know.
all right. We say decal. I have never in my life heard it called decal, and I was just like, is he doing that to be facetious, or is that how they say it up there?
That's how I've always known it to be pronounced. But
All right, decal.
I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong. But it's been that way since I worked on model spaceships.
I don't think it's wrong. I think it's just locale. Like you saying a boot.
I don't say that.
I was just
actually,
waiting to
that's-
get flack for that.
At least not very often, eh? You hold it.
I mean, I was in Wisconsin. Technically, I'm less than a full state away from Canada, so I can't say too much. But
So this gun shoots energy blasts,
That's right.
and it's called the Sergio. So like if you wanted to get like bulletproof, not a bulletproof vest, but a protection vest, you would get the Sergio protector.
wow. You know, something in the back of my mind was questioning why Wolf was so silent for so long. And now I know. Nice. It's got to be that way now.
It's got to be. Yep.
It's got to be Surge EO.
Yeah, in fact, it could be Surge and then just like it's like EO stands for something.
Yeah,
Sergio.
Surge EO special.
Yeah, nice.
Perfect.
It stands for electro something. Oscillating. I don't know. Actually,
Energy offset.
offset.
Surge energy offset special. I don't know. But I love the inside joke. I don't even care what we make up for what it says. It doesn't even matter.
Energy output.
Oh, surge energy output.
There you go.
Beautiful.
This is what happens when there's only a few of us.
Yep. That's when the magic happens, baby.
You're immortal now, Surge. although now we kind of all have to call you Surge. That's it.
I love that. And now we do have to have armor that's called the Surge Protector.
Bonus versus energy weapons.
Yep.
Right.
Then we'll all get to tell this story so many times. That was stupid. Why'd you do that? Let me tell you a story.
Well, you see what happened was.
I don't really think that'll make it any better.
Oh, I do.
I mean, for them.
Oh man, if only there was an O.
We don't care if it makes it better for them, Wolf.
There we go.
I love it. I love it. I'm so happy inside.
Yeah, my life is now complete.
Yeah. My life has meaning again. That is so awesome.
That's the only gun I'm ever gonna use.
Yeah, right? How come the guys who made this only ever use that pistol? We kill them all the time because it's not strong enough. They don't even care.
No, heck no. This will be totally OP.
Yeah, this would be totally OP. No, we'll just have to have like a god mode for this pistol. It's only OP if one of us is using it.
Hey, you just go into the chat window, and instead of typing in text to somebody, you just type in the chat command and activate the cheat code.
Yep. Those guys are really good with that thing. He killed me with one shot, and I had the surge protector.
Should actually.
I need sleep so bad. I'm sorry.
Probably. So I kind of want this to be a summoner gun, where it kind of summons Sergio and he attacks things. The AI bot.
Great. We'll have a whole line of Surge EO. A little attack robot, some armor.
So, could be a,
You know what this means, though?
competitive company to Future Tech, or maybe
Exactly.
or maybe it is Future Tech line, Sergio line, or
That could be too, yeah. But I think Surge, in this case, deserves his own logo.
Yeah, he really
Big-
does.
You can stick it up front right here.
Oh dear.
You think I'm joking? I'm not joking.
No. We will have. I know he's not joking, and I'm in full agreement. We are going down that road.
Well, I'm not gonna make that logo.
We understand. It's still going to happen.
Well, I guess you could look at it two different ways. I was watching a show about Canadian fighter pilots, and at one point they were going on about how they choose call signs.
Canada has fighter
And-
pilots?
Yeah, we do. And they're better than yours.
Yeah, probably.
like flying around like the Red Baron and stuff. Those old.
All right. I'm
No,
going
no.
to lay off the
No,
Canada
you're
jokes.
confused. That's
But yeah, they're basically saying that, if you like your call sign, great, you get to keep it. If you hate it, great, you get to keep it. So I could look at it this way. If you like the logo that other people come up with, great, you get to keep it. If you don't like it, well, you get to keep
Great
it.
to keep it.
well, it's the same that the logo I did for Future Tech.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard, this has made me so happy. So unexpectedly happy.
We could just turn this whole game into just like one big inside joke.
well-
So after the inside joke, and it's just like the whole mechanisms are all the backseat to just what's going on. Like, I don't understand this game at all. It's hilarious.
But
What are
there's
you
3 or
talking
4
about?
guys that are always just endlessly laughing no matter when we play. Yeah, what do you mean we could do that, Wolf? Don't you really kind of see that happening? Let's think
just-
back a year and a half and let's look at today.
Right.
It's
They'll be like summoning in space bears with jetpacks, and they'll just like attack, and just, like this, like a area effect thing. All these space bears with jetpacks come in and land and
surfing
things
on
up.
squadrons of sand penguins.
I was
Right,
just going to
yeah.
say, don't forget the sand penguins.
the most ridiculous game ever made.
We still have to make those, but yeah, those are going into.
Space bears and sand penguins. All right, guys. Is that everything you've got tonight, Richard?
Yep. There's also the model for Danielle, but there's nothing really new on that right now.
All right.
I've been Sergio and I have met a couple times over the course of the week, and we were going over skeletal mesh settings and skinning and all that kind of stuff. he showed me some basics for the reaction control. So I'm going to be going through that. I'll try and make some controls that'll make animating the character easier
Cool.
when I switch over and when I finally get the skin working properly. So once that happens, she'll be walking around with this thing.
Awesome. All right, since we started late, we're coming up on 9. I'm actually going to call a short break for coffee and stuff, mostly because I don't know if my microphone's picking it up or not, but my girlfriend must have left an alarm on somewhere, and it's driving me insane. So I have to go shut that off.
I haven't even noticed.
Okay, no worries.
All right, let's take 5, get our drinks, bathroom, whatever, and we'll be back shortly.
All right.
All right, and we're back from our break, and we've had a look at Richard's weapon, which is outstanding. He's going to continue to fiddle with that a little bit, but we're not going to watch that. We're going to head on over to Sergio and have a look at what he's got done this week. Are you ready for it, Serge?
Yep.
I'm not going to be able to stop saying Serge now. You guys have ruined me.
You could just call him EO.
Alrighty.
Why is there we go.
Don't you
Okay,
hate it when
I-
Max won't drag for no reason?
Yeah, when you're too close, it starts doing that.
Yeah, it
and-
just wigs out, and then you're like, why can't I get anywhere?
You gave him a sword, huh? Is that what that is?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a.
Oh,
It's
weapon.
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, the sword. I think
didn't
I
you
showed
see
it.
the Wolf? Didn't you see the post that he put up?
No. Oh, no, not a new one. I saw the old one he put up.
You didn't see the one with the this guy in 2 different poses?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be right back, guys. I'm going to grab some dinner quickly.
You missed the beauty. There we go.
This one. Yeah, I finished the sword. The original concept had a lot more work in the blade, but I ended up ditching that because it was. If I wanted that, I had to sculpt it in the normal, and to get the normal map, I wouldn't have to change the low resolution because it's a mostly a flat area, but yeah. What I did, I actually started animating this. Some of the animations are really,
Ooh.
let's say, not that great, but let me see.
Tell me you have him moonwalking.
No.
Ah.
I had to
You
turn,
have
I had
the
to turn
idle
off my mic
animation.
because I was spitting up coffee, Wolf.
Then sort of walking animation running, and that supposedly is a sham, but yeah. Then I got it into Unity, and thanks to Richard, because otherwise I wouldn't figure out what was wrong with the normal maps if he didn't point that out. Let's see. Here if I show it in max with the maps, it will really slow down. So
Okay.
let me get this out of the way. Here we go. This is the idle animation. They do need some touch-ups. This one is actually rather okay. Let's say it's. I have some movements on the feet that they're sliding, but otherwise they're okay. And this one I have to correct this arm because it's driving me nuts. It's mechanical.
He is like he's doing a weird bending thing. I'm not really buying the walk, like on his knees. like it's like I think it is walking. He should be
More fluid.
well, not bending so much. It's like I don't get why.
Yeah,
you
the
got
thing
it
is,
bending.
it
It's like he's trying
depends
to creep
because
up or something.
no, the thing is, if I try to, I mean, if um, if they're going to only step on this part of the foot, well,
Uh-huh.
let me just, while they're walking, if they don't have this kind of bend, I don't see them keeping balance.
I don't mind the general shape of the contour of the whole body, and it's hard to tell because the frame rate on this end is
Right.
so
Oh
bad.
yeah,
But it looks to me like at the extension of the walk, his extension's not as long as it could be, like the extension of the leg. But again, I
yeah,
can't see it very well, so. And I think that's what gives it that kind of creeping feeling.
yeah. It could.
Like right there, that leg is still bent at the knee, and
Yeah,
it should be starting to hyperextend.
yeah, yeah. No, the reason I didn't do that was to. Um, I won't show it, but I actually took some video of me walking that way. Uh,
What do
Okay,
you mean
we
you
have to
won't
see
show
this.
it?
no, I won't show it.
It's so much better
Uh,
in my head anyway.
Because once you're getting to this stage, the hip is forward enough that you really need to start changing your weight to the other feet. And yeah, I didn't, at least in my walk, but I don't have this feet, so
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
I started changing the weight and
it's okay to switch the weight over to the other foot, but now as he leans onto that other foot, that leg should extend more straight.
yeah,
I think what you might find is if you have him lean a little bit forward at the waist as he's extending toward the back, you'll find that leg straightens out a bit more.
okay.
But yeah, I mean,
well-
on my end with the recording stuff, I'm not even getting 10 frames a second. I'm getting like
Oh,
1 frame every 3 seconds. So it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hard for me to actually see it cycle.
I see where
do
you
you
I
have
see
him
where you-
bouncing?
huh?
Is he bouncing? I mean, is his body moving up and down as he walks?
Not so much. It's
No.
mostly pivoting from side to side. No,
Yeah,
I haven't.
you'll have to get a little up-down motion going in that, and then you'll start to get a pretty realistic walk.
Yeah,
Right
The one
now,
I-
it looks more like he's ice skating or something. No way.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
now that you played it again, and I'm watching the head not bob up and down, I think that's really what's giving that like creeping along feeling.
yeah,
I think you could probably bend the knees just a little bit, and that would still work. I think right now it's excessive. It looks like he's about to like poop his pants. You know, just kind of walking like that. Like I think right now people, I mean, I find it a little silly. But it's like if you just extend them up a little bit, and they're maybe his head goes up and down. You know, like.
you know, I
the
have
one-
to
like-
to retouch it a lot, but
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
But
a process of getting that to look really realistic, especially when you're dealing with a not real bone structure. I mean,
Yeah,
if he just had flat feet, that would be much easier. But
Right. Definitely. It just I think it's a little excessively on his knees. It looks like he's more likely to fall on his butt, or something because his I don't know. It's but I mean, Sergio, have you tried just I've tried walking on my feet like that, and it's actually not bad if I'm walking. If I'm standing, then I'm wobbly, but if I'm walking forward, just the forward momentum, I feel like I
Yeah.
have a lot of stability.
Yeah, that's why
You don't need to
in the
bend your
idol
legs. Yeah.
I actually did this,
Yeah. I
I
would
did it in a way that
I would start with fixing the head bob, getting the waist moving up and down,
yeah.
and then just see what it looks like once that, because you know it needs to have that. So once it's got
Yeah,
that, then it's a matter of what do I need to tweak to get it to look real.
It's also like if you look at the feet, if you look at the side, the profile of the feet, I think they should probably be bent up more straight when they're at certain points in it.
Let me see.
Like especially when they're starting out. Like he's going through the walk. He's put say his right foot forward, and so he's putting his weight then onto that left leg or the right leg, and I think right now it's kind of like if that was up, more like it was more vertical, then it would look stronger, like it would look more solid, and I don't know if that's exactly the right point. I have to like kind of try it and think about it, but it seems like at some point that should be pretty straight up, pretty vertical, and like right when you have it bend and it's like you go, okay, all your weight is on it and it's bent, it
Something
looks
more like this.
Yeah,
also, it doesn't,
when the rest of the body's a little more forward, yeah.
because it's like you're putting all your weight, when you're putting all your weight on it and it's really bent, it looks like, how is this taking all the weight? It seems odd. And if you watch how dogs walk on their legs, they I mean, obviously they're not bipedal, but they do straighten out. They're not always like super bent.
Yeah.
It does straighten out to be kind of like one line.
I do have a suggestion as far as the upper body is concerned for the walk. I mean, obviously right now we're focusing on the legs to get them working right, but the whole thing is connected. So one thing that I find helps me figure out the smaller motions, short of actually having a motion capture studio, if you watch sequences of people walking in slow motion, you'll start to pick out the details of how the hips move, how the shoulders move, what part of the body leads the feet, which would probably help get the rest of the form. And once that happens, I think fixing up the legs is going to be much easier.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if he leans forward as he's walking, that will definitely help as far as the idea that leg is supporting his weight when it's stretched out behind him. At that point, you're transferring your weight over to the front leg.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, no matter what your bone structure is, if it's a bipedal walk cycle, it is essentially a constant controlled fall.
yeah,
You're
and
always
you
falling
would
on your face, and it's just a matter of controlling that.
you would basically be just leaning forward naturally to compensate for that. And the only other thing I can think of as far as the legs is, like, we move our feet around to the side when we take a step forward, but it moves back around almost right in
At the
front.
center.
Yeah. So I mean, the walk where the legs stay about shoulder width apart, if you can set it up so that as the one foot comes in front, it actually closes in toward the center line, that would probably also help a bit.
Yeah, because I have the legs with too much separation. But yeah. Yeah, no, I have to refine them a lot actually. This
But
one
still,
is
But yeah,
more than
that
that,
is not that is not to take away from a lot of clearly good work.
it's awesome.
Right.
Yes.
It's
no,
it's actually. I was
yeah,
thinking for the the non-MOBO part of the game, it would be pretty cool to. I mean, that's a lot closer to a stealthy walk. You know, going into
yeah. Probably I
how.
will
Yeah.
lower him a bit for a solid walk
I don't,
at least.
maybe hit from the top, but from the bottom,
Yeah,
that's pretty much what the stealthy walk. I mean, it would need to be tweaked, but it it's actually it's actually getting pretty close to a good stealthy walk.
yeah. Well, this is whatever. I was
Is it-
just
Yeah, that for the running, it looks even sillier because he's
Well,
it-
it's a little more exaggerated.
yeah. Well, because he's down like that. It's like, I mean, running. Usually you're stretched out when you're running, and it's just like you're not. He's not making use of all.
of all the, yeah,
All the speed that his leg can give him by not pivoting on all the different joints and stuff. And
Well, and somebody with that foot structure that would obviously have very explosive ankle strength.
right.
I would
Yeah.
I would actually think that about 50% of his run cycle, neither one of his feet would be on the ground.
Yeah,
He would have a
that's true.
very
Yeah.
long stride.
And at
Yeah.
at the I mean there would be at some point there would be both his upper leg and bottom leg and his foot thing would be pretty straight, and that might be at a place. It might even be just before he kind of launches off the ground a little bit.
And
Yeah.
Sergio, this is going to be a lot slower cycle, but you can actually download the cycle here, and it might give you just a good look at some tweaks. I'm throwing it in BuzzNet because
Cool.
the foot structure is very similar to a dinosaur. So
Oh, yeah.
So this is a pretty good animated T-Rex walk cycle.
You know, I got to show you sometime, Sergio, that this I did. It's for a dragon, but it's the kind of leg that we were going to use with the other joint.
Yeah.
Originally. But I did something pretty similar. I mean, this was a few years ago, so I mean, I wasn't as good at drawing, but I kept it's basically I took something that looked decently in its kind of crouch certain position, but made a run cycle with that. But it's like I didn't, and I did make the head go bob up and down. I mean, this is all 2D animation, but it's like the whole thing. It's like what I realized later that the whole thing was him like crouched, so he's never really, he's basically staying with everything bent. You know, it's similar to what you did, except even more dramatic.
Okay. Oh, and well,
By the way,
one
good
thing
job on the
separated.
rocks.
These are the last ones I showed, but well, now we know why the normal wasn't working because I never projected with Y up, so
Yeah.
that was the reason. I didn't reproject it here still, but yeah, probably some of those old rocks that were bothering me wouldn't bother me as much now.
Lessons learned. It's always the little things, man.
Yeah.
The devil is truly in the details. But he is coming
Yeah,
along great. I mean, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We're tweaks away from there.
yeah.
And that is
And
freaking outstanding.
I'm going to work on an animation layer for Danielle that will basically at least get her to walk, running, and, I don't know, wave or something.
Well, he's going to have a big sword, so get her firing a gun.
Yeah, and there is a difference with the actual place I put it. Not initially I had it like this, but Richard suggested to have it the other way around, exactly for the length, because
Because
it will be a
it's
lot
actually
easier to draw.
there. Yep.
But I haven't tried yet to import it with different materials, so this will be emissive.
Yeah.
But-
Still, it's looking pretty cool
yeah.
even without the emissives.
Yeah, the original detail I had was something like this.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, if I wanted this, I had to actually sculpt in the blade. It's doable, I just didn't want to.
I love a guy that's honest.
Yeah, I can lie if you want, but that's the truth.
No, I wouldn't want to
Um,
either. Can you do that with some of the maps, though? To give it like a energy?
Yeah,
to
but
like
the
that.
thing is, to sell this, I will actually want to do it. Will want to do it in the normal map, mostly because, I mean, the blade itself, it's something that it's so flat that all I need is the normal. I don't have to retopology anything of the low poly. Let me just. What the? Ah. Now it's working. Okay. Max, come on. Ah.
Yay for maps.
Yeah. It's dying.
Uh-oh. No response. Yay. There we go. It's coming back. Give it a minute.
Yeah.
It's thinking.
I mean, this is. I could paint it, but if I do, I don't know exactly how to mask the emission.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how to explain this. I mean, for example, I did an emission like this. Whoa. But the thing is, I don't know. For example, it will have 2 levels of emission. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly.
Are you saying
Um,
animation
No,
or
emission.
mission?
Emission.
No,
Emission.
emission.
Okay.
And I didn't exactly knew how to do it, so I discarded the idea. Because I will have to do it really strong in the center, otherwise you will lose the detail, and it didn't have any reason to be if I just make everything the same level.
All right, Richard, you actually know Unity better than I do. Now, if it was something like Unreal, I would do a material instance and probably just glow it back and forth between a base texture and a glowy texture. What would you do in Unity?
Oh, let's see. To get
To get that kind of energy
Sorry.
glow to it. I mean, I would want the glow to probably kind of ebb and wane.
if you were looking for like an animated texture, is that what you mean?
Maybe in Unity. Like I said, if it were Unreal, I would just
Okay.
do a material instance between glowing and not glowing, and just have Unreal
Okay.
flip back and forth between the two.
Um,
But I don't think Unity
Yeah.
supports instancing.
it's well, like just basically a copy of a material.
A copy of a material with changes, where it says,
Yes,
"Oh,
it does.
I know it's
Yeah.
this material, but this is an instance of it where it's different."
Yes, it can do that.
Oh, can it?
So you could have separate glowing and not glowing states for different things. As far as the visual effect, I'd probably go for an animated texture and just have that be part of the shader, and it would basically just add to the physical material of the object. In
Okay.
theory.
Gotcha.
I haven't really had a chance to play with shaders much, but I did get a sneak peek at the new physical-based shaders that are coming with Unity 5.
With Unity 5 that was going to release 3 months ago, and they still won't give us a release date. That Unity 5.
Well, yeah, there's that. But from what I saw, I'm willing to wait. It's that good.
Well, it better be, because their competition really upped the ante. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
My
that's
personal
true.
guess is the reason we don't know when it's coming is because they went, "Oh my, we need to really make this be spectacular."
Yeah.
And I hope that is the
Um,
reason, because that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
But, so you do an animated
and-
texture rather than just have it flip between an instance?
Well, you could do it either way. I mean, you could just have it swap out one material that's glowing and animated for one that is static and not glowing. That could work too.
We'll have to play with that idea.
I don't know if you guys have ever played around with the timeline effects editor.
I have not.
No.
It's pretty awesome. I'm basically using it, well, the I showed you a few weeks ago a still of sort of like a laser bolt type graphic,
Yep.
and Timeline Effects was the program I used to create that image. So essentially it's a 2D particle system that you go through, you create the visuals, what it's going to look like, depending on the effect you're going for. For example, if you want like a fireball that's going to go flying through the air, you could choose to have it repeat itself. So it'll have a seamless repetition of this broiling, turbulent fire as it goes through the air. And ages back, when I was doing just the biped poses in 3D Studio Max and having spell effects fly through the air and stuff like that in still images, those graphics were created with this program. So it's really good at basically creating sprite sheets that you can then
Is
throw
that
into
the,
Unity. And
RigSoft timeline
that's the
effects?
one. Yep.
Let's throw that in BuzzNet for people to look at. There we go.
He's been working out. Does pectorals out pretty well.
Oh, that's not very expensive either.
It's actually, yeah, for the effects that you get out of it, it's very affordable. And they haven't done it yet, but a lot of people have. I guess there's a 3D plugin that can be used with this program. It can read these files and essentially, instead of using the pre-rendered graphics, it has all the parameters to create a particle system inside a game engine. So I forget which engines it supports. People are asking for them to support it in Unity, which would be awesome, because then you don't have to worry about 5 different versions of an effect to get some kind of variation on it.
Huh. Yeah, that's very cool.
Steve, you sound really quiet now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm flipping through the pages of their thing, looking at it, and yeah, it's some very cool effects in the library just right out of the box.
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite happily impressed when I got that.
See, Richard, you're why someday I will be able to have nice things, because you always find nice things.
Well, I don't know if you guys knew about Rain beforehand, but I sent Nelson a message about it a few days ago, just to see if he had heard about it, because they had only recently gone free to download.
Yeah,
so I jumped on it.
They emailed us actually like 2 weeks ago.
Sweet.
And so we've had a couple of meetings with them, and we're waiting to hear back from them right now. But yeah, they want to do some training, some VTM training that can be purchased for download, as well as for member sponsors, and put together something. I think basically they're looking for ways to add to their income so that they can take it to the next level with all the things they want to do. So I don't know exactly where that's going to end up yet, but I know Nelson for about a week and a half has been playing with it. He thinks it's a pretty cool system. So
Nice. Yeah, I was. There's a game that I'm working on in my spare time. Well, my spare time. That I eventually want to have these characters walking around inside a spaceship. And instead of looking after how the ship maneuvers and how well you aim your weapons, all the player has to deal with is telling the crew what to do. And it's up to them to fight the ship and all that sort of stuff.
yeah.
But having them be able to navigate would be pretty important. So I was looking for options, and there's other free solutions with optional payments to get the cool stuff, and invariably the cool stuff always included the navigation mesh generation. And so as soon as I saw that that one was free and included that, I was like, yeah, I don't care how user unfriendly it is. If it has that, I'm going to learn. And I was quite surprised to find out that it's not unfriendly at all.
No, it's really, I went in and just watched over his shoulder while he was working on some stuff, and I thought, actually, yeah, these guys are really on the right track, and they're letting everybody just have it. I was pretty amazed. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some of that together soon. We're still waiting to hear back some details from them, but I know Nelson's already thinking about what we can do to put together some training. So, and since it's another product out there that you can get for free, hopefully we can do that, because that'll be awesome for people.
Yeah, and if they're doing this to try and generate some extra income to go to the next level, I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to be like too, because
yeah, and I don't know if it's just the next level of Rain, or just talking to Nelson, we kind of got the feeling like there may be some other systems they want to build besides AI.
Ooh.
So, but hey, you know, it's here, it's recorded, and also recorded with it is Steve saying that's hearsay and I don't know. So,
you heard it here first, folks.
even if it's a lie, you heard it here first. But yeah, so hopefully here in the next few weeks I'll have a little more detail on what we're doing with that. But I'm sure hoping something. Right now we're waiting on them to get a hold of us.
So I actually have stuff too.
All right. Well, then I guess it's
Is this stuff you just
about
fished?
time that we,
No.
do you have anything else you want to go over, Serge?
No, just show this.
I really like the chick, except for her face.
Oh,
She's ugly, man.
Yeah, well, try to.
And actually, the fix is easy. Can you thin her nose?
Yeah, let me see.
Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful.
See? Come on, that is better.
Yeah,
It's
There you
different.
go. I mean, it's going to be different no matter what. She's not going to look like
Yeah.
Emma Stone. But
yeah, no, but
I think an Alethian guy would think that was hot.
Well, let's ask him.
I was trying with some armors, but I actually need to do a render and paint on top like I did with the mail because yeah, this has nothing to do with whatever I was doing before.
All right. I
Um,
accept that.
it doesn't follow the same language, so yeah, probably I will do just a bunch of the sketches and show that next week, and we'll decide which one to go for.
All right, awesome. She's coming along good, though.
Yep.
Alrighty, well, it's about 10 after 10. We got about 20 minutes left. For those of you who will be watching the recording, you missed a lot of off-camera time. If you want to know what we were doing, what we were talking about, and how awesome it was, you should come join the class. So, right now, Wolf, coming to you, baby.
There. Hello.
Hello. You are
All
here.
right. This is just a reminder of last time,
Indeed.
and then and this is this time. This is a reminder of this time.
Thank you for reminding me about this guy. I'd nearly forgotten.
Yeah. Right. See, I tried the new base suit, basic organic suit. Tried to make some
little
changes
simple-
on it.
Oh, I like that.
I do too. I like it better, and I think this one, it's really the things that we talked about. This one, it's very close to a tiled texture because they're all very similar in size. So there's a pattern which it kind of you kind of glaze over the whole thing, but this one makes your eyes fix into all these like different sections, I think, because it's different sizes and it's just more interesting. Even though I still do like this one. Yeah? No?
I like the second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So, and this looks more like a suit, like, I mean, this was more designed to just be under other armor, and this one looks more like it could just be the armor. I mean, I was thinking that this one could, but it doesn't look as good that way. But I think this one does. All right. So then I got a new notion in my head to try. Well, it's not completely a new notion, but I'm trying to make armor that seems to be attached, at least attached, if not a part of and growing out. So, like no straps here. This doesn't have a strap around here. There's no, it's just connected to the armor itself, and so there's just
Okay, I
like
gotcha.
strap pieces like this, and then these things are just a little added. I was thinking, they'll. I was thinking it's kind of similar to like a spine, kind of it turns on a joint, it kind of pivots or whatever. So, but it's a little bit more. So I guess if you get hit by a axe or something right here, you do still have a little bit of a harder surface. but plus I thought it was kind of an interesting design. So that's what I was going for there. So that's just the base, and then
I don't know why, but it reminds me of a bit of samurai armor.
Japanese armor, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to
Cool.
agree. You really lean towards an Oriental look.
It's
Maybe
nice.
because it's exotic to me, and I'm thinking aliens and exotic, and trying to not be too much. Of course, I guess you could say the same thing about that the heavy armor for the person guy, which I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, so I was putting. This one has kind of like structure growing on it to be more interesting. I thought it's almost like bones in a way, kind of an exoskeleton kind of thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of for there. And then here I'm going a little bit more organic, as in it's more curvy and just kind of more of an organic look,
Rougher,
I
yeah.
think. And so the only thing I really just changed a few things, made that a little different. All right, and then here I'm experimenting with some of the concepts that we were discussing earlier, like Steve's always talking about asymmetrical, but
Yeah.
I also mentioned that I was thinking, and this is I was thinking of it as an armor piece that somebody would make, but this is like something they would grow on the suit, like it'd be part of the suit, and that's why I did it in these colors to show that. But this is like the shield arm, and so you're just going to have to say he's left-handed for this. And so he'd have his weapon in this side, and this side would be all about defense, and this would be more about mobility. So I thought that was an interesting look. Like I said, I colored it, and then I added these things as well. The blue guys.
I like the chest pattern on that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I would not want to get hit by that glove.
Right. This, yeah.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it really looks like it could have been grown right out of this stuff, like it's all one thing. And then here, I'm envisioning this as being open, kind of kind of hauled out on that side a little bit, so his
If
hand
we
goes
turned
in
it
there.
around, you could actually see his hand.
You can see his hand, and there'd be like a handle
Yeah.
thing there where he's
Gotcha.
gripping, and
Okay,
so
yeah.
there'd be a little bit of an opening on that side. And so yeah, this would be kind of like being hit with a bowling ball or something. It's like. But I'm also envisioning this stuff being light. I mean, very solid, but also a little bit lighter than what you would think. So he could really punch, and it wouldn't just be like actually holding a bowling ball and being
Yeah, it
dragged
wouldn't be a
around or
huge
something.
weight that he couldn't lift.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so huge a weight. I mean, it would have weight, but he'd be able to use it because he's going to have to like move this around, because this is also, I mean, this can catch. You can be hit by something here and you're blocking, so all this is just solid for blocking. So so you can really use it like that. You can see this area right here. I kind of cheated it out a little bit because it's not really a great angle to show this off, but I was thinking of this as a pointy, it's kind of like a spear in a way. Yeah, it's
kind of.
yeah, it curves in and it's sharp, so you could like stick somebody in the neck or something with it and kill them. So it could be lethal. It doesn't go down as far as this, so if like you're going to do that, it'd be kind of, you would punch at the side, and so you could hit them there. It's also something where you can catch a weapon in between, so it gets in between here. And then he would move his arm and like twists, and so he kind of catches the weapon in here and then slices them with the sword or something. So
I have a question, Wolf.
What's up?
Okay, we've established through the artwork and stuff like that certain crystals can float and all that sort of thing. So I'm wondering, can he throw that like a friggin' boomerang, or like the glaive?
Oh
On this
God,
part?
did you just say the glaive?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's not what I envisioned in this at all. But and if I did something like that, I'd probably make something here, like a little piece, so it seemed like it would attach kind of there and detach.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I'm envisioning this all being like kind of growing out of this armor, so being attached to it, so you can't really take it off. But yeah, I mean that is an interesting idea for a weapon that you can just kind of punch and it throws out.
Yeah, you could punch, you could block, you could toss it and smack somebody at range. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
It's kind of like in a way, not a. I don't think it'd be spinning, but kind of like the movie Crawl, where you throw it off and then you attract it right back.
Yeah, the glaive.
Yep.
Is that what it was called in Crawl?
Yep,
what it was called,
that's why I called him out.
Yeah, I didn't remember what it was called.
And now that you're
Is it
accessing
sad
the
that-
same movie without recognizing that name, I'm calling you out too.
Is it sad that pretty much everybody recognizes that instantly?
Yes, it is sad. Are you guys not remembering that movie was terrible?
Well, you know what? When you watch it as a kid, that movie was wonderful.
It was awesome as a kid.
But yeah, I did see it years ago as an adult, or at least in my late teens. I don't remember exactly when, but I'm like, oh, because like to me that movie was epic and long and all this and stuff. And
never rewatched them.
When I watched it, it was more like a cartoon where it's just like, this is happening now, this is happening now, this is happening. You know, everything was really short and condensed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was okay. Even though it was bad, I thought there's still something I kind of like
Yeah,
about it.
I didn't get the chance to see that as a youngster. I was not a youngster when it came out.
Right. Well, there's your problem.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You have
All
gray
right.
hairs when Star Trek came out?
Say what?
Do you have gray hairs when Star Trek came out?
Not the original series.
All right.
I'm not
and
that
so,
old, Richard.
All right. So anyway, I really like this arm thing, especially like this here, and so I'm kind of with you. I mean, like for the purpose of this, it needs to have a bigger armor up here than versus something like that. But I kind of like the spaced out armor look, like you were talking about, and so I also did this one, and so like if you look right here,
Nice.
so I said, okay, what if these pieces were just over exaggerated, and like I said, they're because I'm envisioning them as being lighter than what they would look or be if it was metal, then it would be practical to use it on your weapon hand, or obviously if you have a two-handed weapon, you'd use both. But anyway, I think it looks really good with that. I think it looks better. I think this is a killer silhouette. That's why I made this one right here, just to kind of appreciate more just the silhouette of it that really stands out and is unique. And then I tried a lot of different breastplate designs, and I did a headband armor thing like Sergio did. I actually like it. It's almost a little steampunk in a way. I tried helmet, a couple of helmets.
I like the headband. I do not like the helmets.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. I like this one better, but I could, there's still more I could experiment with that, obviously. And then this, I think this is my favorite one for the breastplate thing. I think this one just really works. Like, I like this one a lot too, and I like this one. But I think this one I'm the most happy with all around. And then, of course, I did what this is like scale mail. So this would be something like not this, but underneath here, the bottom part would be something like leather with these little pieces of metal attached to it, and so that's obviously it's a way that you can have metal and be bendable, be able to bend at your waist, and still have a lot of the protection that metal gives versus like arrows and stuff. What?
I do have to say, compared to the other designs, that one now reads as very human.
Medieval, yeah.
And evil?
No.
Medieval.
Medieval.
No.
Oh, medieval. Okay. Yeah.
It's human and evil.
Yes, because I mean, it's similar to chainmail, I guess, but I mean scale mail. But yeah, I mean I think even before it was a lot more human, and this is obviously way more alien. It's like I'm thinking it's almost like I don't know. When I look at these things, I think almost beehive kind of. So it's like construction, and it's just very organic armor. I think that's pretty neat.
And some people might say that the shoulder pads look a little too human, but on the other hand, if humans and Eletians have had contact in the past, it makes sense that there would be just a little bit of influence on both sides.
Well, there is,
so
but I mean,
I really like that.
It also, I mean, the reason that humans made armor in certain ways is because they're functional. I mean, this thing that kind of comes up here helps. If you get hit here, it doesn't just slide on and go here. It has something to catch. So that's functional. So it's just like anybody's gonna come up with that, I think.
Yeah.
I forgot to get rid of the overlay color here. Just realized it. But yes, I guess I deserve that. So what do you guys think?
Quick question.
What?
The Soulstone, do they exhibit it, or? And I'm asking because I never put it in anything. I completely forgot about it until now. Do they exhibit it, or do they cover up or whatever?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
I
if
don't
you
know.
get.
I'm not sure what
Like,
you mean.
you mean when they're not wearing their armor, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. This is also what I was thinking, that now the base suit that underneath, maybe anybody can wear that. Maybe only warriors. I'm not sure. But I was thinking only people who are trained in this can make this kind of stuff. So basically, when they're not in battle, I would think. Well, I mean, they're probably. I mean, if they're just going on their normal day-to-day life, they'd be in normal clothes and stuff. But once they're like, if they're not in battle, but maybe like before battle, they would just be with this suit, and before battle, in preparation, they would grow these things, the heavier armor stuff. But that would be a skill that they would have to develop, and this is how I'm thinking about it. Uh, Animals that have poison, that can give poison other animals. Uh, like learning about them, and what a strong advantage that is to be able to, for a smaller animal to take down a otherwise stronger animal, and make dinner out of it. That is a tremendous ability, and so you can kind of wonder. The question comes up. It's like, why didn't all animals evolve to be able to do that, if it's such a great plus? And but the answer is because there's also a big price to that, and that is okay. Those animals can, like a snake, can bite you and give you poison, but then they're out of poison, and so then they're vulnerable, and also in the process of them, which starts up as soon as they do that, there's a process of them refilling that poison, and apparently that's an exhausting process. So it takes a lot of energy, and then they're gonna need more food and stuff to recover from that. And so that's what I was thinking, that this would be, growing these would be a tiring thing. So you would have to have skill to be able to, just kind of mental fortitude to be able to grow those. And I think it would be kind of exhausting. And then it's like, and now you have to go to war. Now you have to battle, and so you're already tired by that. But if you've been training in this, you'll be less tired, and you'll just be more able to adapt to that, and expect to have the expectations that you will not be at 100%. And I think, like, the trade-off of completely form-fitting and lighter armor, is enough. It outweighs. I mean, maybe not completely outweigh, but it's a trade-off, and so there are those that would find this a worthy trade-off. But so I think that's why you wouldn't just have everybody doing it, and that's why there's still reason for other warriors to wear actual made armor and stuff. I think this is more of a specific discipline to make all this heavy stuff. So that's what I was kind of thinking on that.
Okay.
All right.
Steve, do you like this better? This stuff, because you didn't like the other bottom?
Um,
Do you want to see it again?
well, wait, you were pointing at the very last one. Do you mean that, or do
Yeah,
you mean
the very
these
last
in
one.
general?
No, I meant this one because versus this. You didn't like this.
Yeah, I do like that better than that. They're right about
Uh-huh.
it starting to look too human. I actually like some of the other designs you did this week, like the first. I do like the hand thing, and I like the idea of the I don't know what we're gonna call it, nodules from the suit underneath showing through.
These guys,
Yeah.
the blue dudes.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like that too.
So yeah, that's kind of the way I'm leaning
Like,
with what I like.
maybe that's something that when you take the armor off, those blue parts sort of shrink back into that underlaying suit, and then you pull off the rigid section, put it down wherever you need to put it, and it just sits there with a bunch of holes in it until you need it again.
I'm
Well,
not completely visualizing what you're saying, but I mean, yeah, like I would think that this grows out, and then after
Yeah.
battle, you'd let it just kind of I don't know,
The blue
kinda
to
deflate back
me,
into the suit in a way.
yeah, the blue to me it reads as something organic, something that can expand and be shaped into different forms.
Well,
so
it's
in
all
this case,
supposed
it's
to be.
influenced by, yeah. In this case, it's influenced by the shape of the armor and all that kind of stuff. But to me, like in this case, the brown areas of the armor, not the underlaying suit, but the chunks of armor itself. To me, that reads as something rigid that, that isn't necessarily. It's not necessarily organic in the same sense as the rest of the crystals and stuff like that they interact with. It would have to be something rigid and not tissue-based if it's going to be effective at warding off melee attacks.
Well, I don't know. There's some pretty strong tissue. I mean, look at like coral, and that's, and who knows what's on that alien world. I think these are tissue, but I see what you mean. I mean, I think these are more. Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean, that there is a difference.
Yeah.
But I do think this is all something that's actually living in a sense, like plant-like, not as in sentient or anything, but it's like could be all like living tissue of some sort.
Well, there's lots of. I mean,
Okay.
there's lots of different ways you can go with it. But I do like the idea.
And it's a killer silhouette, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like
Yeah.
the silhouette.
Yeah. But what do you think as far as the middle ones? Which, like the breastplate, which do you like the best?
My vote is number 1 up top,
Yep.
and
Yeah, I tend to agree.
third last on the bottom.
I tend to agree with
This
both
one?
of those choices in that order.
Yeah, and I also like from the previous page. I don't remember where is it now. Let's see. The one in the middle, in the top.
Which, this one or that one? Oh, this one.
That one, yeah. I think it reads really well. Maybe it's just me, but I really like that one.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
It's a. Go ahead.
Saying, yeah, like that. To me, that reads like a lighter armor sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and yeah, I like
but
that
yeah,
one
it
too.
does read well. I agree.
And as far as the undersuits, I like 2
Yeah,
and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Agreement all the way around.
Yeah, this, I think this would be, if there's any kind of peace force or something, I,
Law
if,
enforcement.
yeah, if it's law enforcement, like this, it makes me think of kind of that. I mean, it obviously could be used for different things, but that might be kind of neat.
Yeah, I would think they have.
I'm sorry, I'm getting cold. I have to go to work.
Okay.
Yeah, we're also
Okay.
we need to cut this off. We're running 10 minutes over my time limit.
All
So.
right. All right.
So yeah,
I really apologize, but
not at all. Actually, I have to get going too,
Yeah.
Serge. So, but the nice thing is we were all in complete agreement on what we liked. So
All right. No. I like this one the best.
the rest of us were
But I
all
do-
in complete agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so massage
See you
those.
later, Edo.
Massage those a little bit, Wolf. And guys, I know it's kind of short, but we're just going to cut it off and go. And I will see you next week.
All right.
See you next time.
All right, take care,
See ya.
guys.
bye-bye.